الثانية يرحمكم الله. والثالثة بأعلى أصواتكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أدعوك كما أمرتني فاستجب لي كما وعدتني إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم يا دائم الفضل على البرية، يا باسط اليدين بالعطية، يا صاحب المواهب السنية، صل على محمد وآله خير الورى سجيا، واغفر لنا يا ذا العلا في هذه العشية. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء وبقوتك التي قهرت بها كل شيء وخضع لها كل شيء وذل لها كل شيء، وبجبروتك التي غلبت بها كل شيء، وبعزتك التي لا يقوم لها شيء، وبعظمتك التي ملأت كل شيء، وبسلطانك الذي على كل شيء، وبوجهك الباقي بعض فناء كل شيء، وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء، وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء، وبنور وجهك الذي أضاء له كل شيء. يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك العصام. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل النقام. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعايم. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الدعاء. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء. اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تقطع الرجاء. اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب أذنبته وكل خطيئة أخطأتها. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك واستشفع بك إلى نفسك، وأسألك بجودك وكرمك أن تدنيني من كربك، وأن توزعني شكرك، وأن تلهمني ذكراك. اللهم إني أسألك سؤال خاضع متذلل خاشع أن تسامحني وترحمني وتجعلني بقسمك راضيا قانعا، وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا. اللهم واسألك سؤال من اشتدت فاقته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته، وعظم فيما عندك رغبته. اللهم عظم سلطانك وعلى مكانك وخفي مكروبك وظهر أمرك وغلب قهرك وجريت قدرتك، ولا يمكن الفرار من حكومتك. اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقبائحي ساترا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي ظلمت وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قديم ذكرك لي ومنك علي. اللهم مولاي كم من قبيح سترتاي، وكم من فادح من البلاء أقلتاي، وكم من عثار وقيتاي، وكم من مكروه دفعتاي، وكم من ثناء جميل لست أهلا له نشرتاي. اللهم عظم بلائي وأفرت بي سوء حالي، وقسرت بي أعمالي وقعدت بي أغلالي، وحبسني عن نفعي بعد آمالي، وخدعتني الدنيا بغرورها ونفسي بخيانتها ومطالي يا سيدي. فأسألك بعزتك لا يحجب عنك دعائي سوء عملي وفعالي، ولا تفضحني بخفي ما اطلعت علي من سري، ولا تعاجلني بالعقوبة على ما عملته في خلواتي من سوء فعلي وإساءتي ودوام تفريطي وجهالتي وكثرة شهواتي وغفلتي. وكن اللهم بعزتك لي في كل الأحوال رؤوفا، وعلي في جميع الأمور عطوفا. إلهي وربي من لي غيرك أسأله كشف دري والنظر في أمري. إلهي ومولاي أجريت علي حكما اتبعت في هوى نفسي ولم أحترس فيه من تزيين عدوي، فغرني بما أهوى وأسعده على ذلك القضاء، فتجاوزتم بما جرى علي من ذلك بعض حدودك وخالفت بعض أوامرك، فلك الحجة علي في جميع ذلك ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي في قضاءك، وألزمني حكمك وبلاؤك، وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعض تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي جميعا معتذرا نادما منكسرا مستقيلا مستغفرا منيبا مقرا مذعنا معترفا، لا أجد مفرا مما كان مني ولا مفزعا أتوجه إليه في أمري غير قبولك عذري وإدخالك إياي في سعة من رحمتك. اللهم فاقبل عذري، اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة دري وفكني من شد وثاقي. يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني، يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عظمي. يا من بدا خلقي وذكري وتربيتي وبري وتغذيتي، هبني لابتداء كرمك وسالف برك بي يا إلهي وسيدي وربي. أتراك معذبي بنارك بعض توحيدك وبعض من طوى عليه قلبي من معرفتك ولهج به لساني من ذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك وبعض صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاضعا لربوبيتك. هيهات أنت أكرم من أن تضيع من ربيت أو تبعد من أدنيت أو تشرد من آويت أو تسلم إلى البلاء ما كفيته ورحمته. وليت شعري يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوههم خرت لعظمتك ساجدا وعلى ألسنين نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا. إلهي لطالما هذه الوجوه سجدت من خشيتك ولطالما هذه العيون بكت من مخافتك، حاشا لوجهك الكريم أن تحرقها في النار. كيف لا وهي سجدت في ليلة الجمعة، أتسلط النار على وجوههم خرت لعظمتك ساجدا، وعلى ألسنين نطقت بتوحيدك صادقا، وبشكرك مادحا، وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا، وعلى جوارح سعيت إلى أوطان تعبدك طائعا، وأشارت باستغفارك مذعنا. ما هكذا الظن بك، ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا ربي، وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها، على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل مكثو يسير بقاؤه قصير مدته، فكيف احتمالي لبلاء الآخرة وجليل وقوع المكاره فيها، وهو بلاء تطول مدته ويدوم مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله، لأنه لا يكون إلا عن غضبك وانتقامك وسخطك، وهذا ما لا تقوم له السماوات والأرض. يا سيدي فكيف بي وأنا عبدك الضعيف الذليل الحقير المسكين المستكين. يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي، لأي الأمور إليك أشكو، ولما منها ما أضج وأبكي، لأليم العذاب والشدة أم لطول البلاء ومدته، فلئن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهل بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك، فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي. صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك، وهبني صبرت على حر نارك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك، أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك، فبعزتك يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أقسم صادقا لئن تركتني ناطقا لأضجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، ولا أصرخن إليك يا صراخ المستصرخين، ولا أبكين عليك يا بكاء الفاقدين، ولا أنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث يا غياث يا غياث يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين، أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفتك، وضاق طعم عذابها وبمعصيتك، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يضج إليك يا ضجيج مؤمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك يا مولاي. فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يأمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحرقه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفاي؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقا؟ أم كيف تشجر زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربا؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك، ولا المعروف من فضلك، ولا مشبه لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحديك وقضيت به من إخلاد معانديك، لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كانت لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدئا وتطولت بالإنعام متكرما. أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستمون. إلهي وسيدي فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي حتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت ما عليه أجريتها، أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة جميعا كل جرم أجرمتم وكل ذنب أذنبت وكل قبيح أسررتم وكل جهل عملتم كتمتهم أو أعلنتم أخفيتهم أو أظهرتم وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك يا أخفيت وبفضلك سترت وأن توفر حظي من كل خير تنزله أو إحسان تفضله أو بر تنشره أو رزق تبسطه أو ذنب تغفره أو خطأ تستره يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي جميعا يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي يا من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بدري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي في الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا وبخدمتك موصولا وأعمالي عندك مقبولا حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك يا سرمدان يا سيدي يا من عليه معولين يا من إليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا ربي قو على خدمتك جوارحي واشدد على العزيمة جوانحي وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرع إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في المبادرين واشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك دنو المخلصين وأخافك يا مخافة الموقنين، واجتمع في جوارك يا مع المؤمنين. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد، اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد جميعا. اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فأرد، ومن كادني فكيت، واجعل لي من أحسن عبيدك نصيبا عندك، وأقربهم منزلة منك، وأخصهم زلفة لديك، فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك، وجد لي بجودك، واطف علي بمجدك، واحفظني برحمتك، واجعل لساني بذكرك لهجاما، وقلبي بحبك متيما، ومن علي بحسن إجابتي، وأقلني عثرتي، وغفير زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بعبادتك، وأمرتهم بدعائك، وضمنت لهم الإجابة جميعا. فإليك يا ربي نصبت وجهي، وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي، وبلغني مناي، ولا تقطع من فضلك رجائي، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي، يا سريع الرضا، يا سريع، يا سريع، اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء، يا من اسمه دواء، وذكره شفاء، وطاعته غنايا، ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء، وسلاحه البكاء، يا سابغ النعم، يا دافع النقام، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم، صل على محمد وآل محمد، وافعل بي ما أنت أهله، ولا تفعل بي ما أنا أهله، وصل اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد، وعلى أهل بيته طيبين الطاهرين، ولاستجابة الدعاء، ولقضاء الحوائج، ولقبول الأعمال، ولشفاء المرضى، إلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات، لا سيما أموات الحاضرين. رحم الله ويقرأ سورة المباركة الفاتحة مشفوعة مسبوقة بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.
أحسنت. that beautiful recitation, Ahsan. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Congratulations on the births of the Akmar of Bani Hashim, the heroes of Karbala alayhim salam. So inshallah, today we'll have Sheikh Mirza Abbas giving a talk titled From the Ark of Salvation, Hussein alayhi salam, to the Ark of Salvation, Al-Mahdi Ajalullah Farajahu Sharif. And the topic will continue this Thursday and into next Thursday, inshallah. So please do attend this week and next week for the entire series. Just before we invite the Sheikh up, just a quick reminder, we have the Mahdi course, which is running this Saturday. Today is the final chance for registration. So please make sure if you intend to sign up that you do so today. Inshallah, on the 3rd of March, Sunday, we have a Ramadan Bazaar, and we'll have across the entire hall over 20 businesses that will have all their businesses and services displayed on tables, and inshallah the proceeds will be to raise funds for the masjid. And I think that is all the announcements I had. So please do consider donating. I've put the link on our LYF community page. Without your generosity, we can't sustain these programs. So let's welcome the Sheikh with the loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعليه الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم وغاصبي حقوقهم ومنكري فضائلهم ومناقبهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم: إن الحسين مصباح الهدى وسفينة النجاة. صدق رسوله كريم. والسلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. Greetings and felicitations upon the birth of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Abul Fazl Abbas and Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, and all the victorious ones of Karbala. To the Imam of our time and to all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your presence. We are really thankful to be in such a gathering, and these gatherings are extremely important. However, we may see a deterioration or bit of lack of attendance from our youth, from our community. However, the only way that we have survived time and time again is because of these gatherings. And that's what we find in the teachings of our scholars of akhlaq. Sayyid Ali Qazi, one of the prominent master in mysticism, he says that weekly gathering of Masaib of Imam Hussein alayhi salam is necessary for a spiritual wayfarer. even if it be that you have only yourself and maybe your family member. All should sit together and do the zikr of the Masaib of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So therefore, the Hussainiyas and the centers that we have, they facilitate that. And they allow us to have this gathering. Our participation perhaps may not be to 100% sincerity or 100% of tawajjuh and focus towards the whole of Dua Kumayl or towards the whole of lecture or ziyarat, but that little tawajjuh and focus and our participation itself counts a lot. Just being here counts a lot. These children running and enjoying, having fun counts a lot. And perhaps this enjoyment of theirs itself could be one of the reasons of acceptance of our du'as. So therefore, community, brotherhood, sisterhood, being together is far better and more effective than I myself being on my own and supplicating and connecting myself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we never know that the person who is sitting next to me and his relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why the fourth Imam says that Allah have hidden three things in three things. The fourth Imam, as his wilada is in these days or today as well, nice to remember him. Four things are hidden in four things. The acceptance of dua is hidden in dua itself. Don't look at whether the dua be a big dua or a small dua, because the acceptance of dua is in dua. The azab of Allah is in a sin. Don't look at, oh, this is just a misdemeanor, this is just a small sin. You know, it's not really killing somebody or backbiting, or it's just I'm just making fun of a moment or something like that. The azab of Allah is hidden in sin, regardless of that sin be a bigger sin or a small sin. The awliya of Allah, the saints of Allah are hidden among men. You know, awliya, they don't come in packaging. You know, there's no special packaging for awliya or a brand, you know, for awliya. They are hidden amongst men. So therefore, respect each and every person, because you don't know which one is a waliullah. So therefore, we are completely unaware of the amount and the type and the intensity of the connection that the brother sitting next to me have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the sister sitting next to me have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this and their connection perhaps could be the reason for me to be blessed, for my du'as to be accepted. So it's very important to be part of community building, part of the brotherhood and sisterhoods that we have. And alhamdulillah, we have the tawfiq, the management, the brothers and sisters, they are working behind the scene to make this possible. For the success of all our Hussainiyas, masajid, and especially the brothers who are working behind the scene for these things to happen, for these gatherings to happen, for their reward for them and their marhumin, recite one loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. There are only two Imams who've been given the title as Safina Nijat, the Ark of Salvation, among all Imams. Nevertheless, all Imams are Ark of Salvation. But when we look at the Hadith literature, we find that Imam Hussain alayhi salam and Imam Mahdi alayhi salam is considered to be the Ark of Salvation. In this Hadith which I recited, which is from the Prophet, which says that Innal Hussain, certainly Hussain is the torch of guidance and the Ark of Salvation. That sifat, or that sort of quality, or that title has been given to the Imam. Now, title giving as well is quite interesting. Name giving, title giving, It's based on the personality of the person, peculiarly to those who are closer to nature. If you look at natives, the way they give names to people, or the shamans, for example, or even in other, traditions, we find that, the reason for the names to be given is based upon the quality and the personality of the person. The titles of the Masumin alayhim salam is based on that as well, right? When you look at that person, he's Kazim, because he was very, forbearing, the seventh Imam, for instance. Not that, Imam Jawad wasn't forbearing, but his Jawad is the one who is, give, for example, is very generous, for example. All Imams were generous, but Imam Jawad is known to be, for example. This is because what is reflected from them, based on that, people or wise individuals tend to give that name, right? That's why we find, amongst the natives you have, wounded bear, they call it, for example, or the dances with wolf, as we have the most famous one that we all know, perhaps. But all of these names is based upon the personality of the person, so that when you call that name, and when that person comes in to a gathering, he says, the wounded bear is here, then they would say that, this man have been hurt, and he lost his family, or something may have happened. And this will allow other peoples to treat this person in a different way, right? So the same applies, and this is the same tradition that we find amongst the Arabs as well, the nomads, because they were the similar sort of substance as the natives, right? And they also have these all names or titles been given to, to the different individuals, right? Positive or negative even, Abu Jahl, for example, So these are all based upon the personality of that person. Now, when it comes to Safin-e-Nijat, you have the similar reality to it, right? Why Imam Hussain alayhi salam is known as the Safin-e-Nijat, and then why the 12th Imam, right? Now, when we look at, and also one thing which the title would have become too big or too much, I didn't include that. The bridge from one Safin-e-Nijat to the other Safin-e-Nijat. Imam Hussain is Safin-e-Nijat. As we said, from the Safin-e-Nijat of Imam Hussain to Safin-e-Nijat of, which is Imam Zaman. So what's the link and what's the bridge to come from this Safin-e-Nijat of Hussain and enter the Safin-e-Nijat of the 12th Imam? That bridge is Abul Fazl Abbas. If somebody wants to travel from this Safin-e-Nijat, which is Hussain, and to the Safin-e-Nijat of the 12th Imam, and that link, to understand that, is no one but Abul Faz, right? Because it is through him we will be able to understand, have that ma'rifat of what Safin-e-Nijat is and what Safin-e-Nijat is all about, through the personality of Abul Fazl, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. Now, when we look at Imam Hussain alayhi salam and him being Safin-e-Nijat, and the commonality of these two Safin-e-Nijat, there are only two Imams who have done Qiyam. We are not going to really compare the life of Imam Hussain and the 12th Imam. However, there's so much of commonality, and alhamdulillah, the scholars have talked and discussed a lot about this topic, right? But we see, for example, in regards to the Qiyam, is the Imam Hussain have done the Qiyam, and the 12th Imam will do the Qiyam. Imam Ali alayhi salam was forced to accept the Khilafah. He never did Qiyam as such, right? He was forced. But Imam Hussain, he did Qiyam, right? And he did Qiyam for what? لِطَلَبِ إِصْلَاح, for reforming, fi ummat jaddi wa abi, right? And this must allow us to reflect that the deterioration, the limitation, and the state of the community of the Muslim Ummah have reached at the time of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and he did qiyam, similar analogy we can strike that for the qiyam of the 12th Imam, the qualities and the state of the Muslim Ummah will be pretty much the same. And then Imam Hussain did qiyam, and after which, the 12th Imam would. Same in regards to the helpers and supporters of Imam Hussain and the 12th Imam. So those who want to be in support and help the 12th Imam, their qualities, their understanding and ma'rifat, that's why we said Abul Faz is the bridge, must be like the ma'rifat and qualities of the ashab of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Somebody who wants to be the supporter of the 12th Imam, that Safina Najah, and want to be in that Safina Najah, they should be very much similar to the supporters of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So that's why we say, 313. We say, 313, it's just 313. But we have thousands and thousands, aren't we? Millions of supporters of Imam Mahdi, we say. But only there's no 313. These 313 should be like, as they say that, Ana Majnoonul Hussain. Apparently in regards to John, it's been mentioned that whether he was there, he wasn't. But in the case of that, if we be killed 70 times and burnt and brought back to life again, we will sacrifice our life for Imam Hussain alayhi salam, right? So that sort of quality should be in the ashab of the 12th Imam as well. Now, I would like to share khutbah of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and perhaps link that to that very Safina Nijat, why Imam Hussain alayhi salam is. Ya ayyuhan nas, inna allaha ma khalaqa khalqallah. O people, and this khutbah is before he is leaving Medina, he gives this sermon. So, inna allaha ma khalaqa khalqallah. O people, ayyuhan nas, why Allah created the creation. So he's directly pointing out to the very important reality, the purpose of creation that we all are after to understand. And creation itself is a natural outcome of existence such as God. It is very natural, right? Because good cannot be stopped. Khaliq cannot be stopped. Right? If you stand near an ocean, the waves will come. Nobody will stop the waves. And every wave that comes is a different, texture, color, form, sound, beauty. So Allah is Khaliq and He's always creating. That cannot be stopped. It's natural. Right? And on the contrary, if there is a doctor, or if there is a person who is capable of, plumbing or doing something, right, in a masjid or some place, and he does not extend that help, that person would be considered as, not a good person, he has that ability to do so, but he's not doing it, So the same way Allah, He has that power. He is the creator. He has all good. And if He doesn't create, that will be a bit, strange, right? So here in Allah ma khalaqa, khalaqa Allah. Why Allah created the creation? Illa liyarifuhu. The purpose of creation is knowing, is ma'rifat, is understanding. That's why naturally our fitra wants to know. Even the small little children, if you look at it, if you kind of joke with them and hide something like this, they really want to know, right? This is something in there. It's in the nature of man, in the nature of children. It's in the fitrat of ours that we want to know, right? So the purpose of this creation is liyarif, so that people, that creation have the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as Allah is hidden and always will be hidden, So this journey of knowing Him will be an eternal journey, you know. We will be always in this journey of knowing, whether we live or we die, whether we be in barzakh or in hereafter. Right? And فَإِذَا عَرَفُوا, when you know Him, when you recognize Him, is ma'rifat, right? And which kind of, if we put the hadith of the sixth Imam where it says, you know, مَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, you know, I haven't created, you know, jinn and men in order that they worship me. The criteria of worship for it to be called worship is ma'rifat. You know, being a polytheist, for example, and going to the temple and praying is also worship, as in, you know, in a conventional sense. But is that really a worship? Not, because there is no ma'rifat there. It may have the shikl, the form of worship, but if it does not have the ma'rifat, and even leave aside polytheists, praying, you know, wailun lil musallin, wow unto those who pray salat, the Quran says, right? Oman salatihim sa'un, you know. So it just may have that form, but if a person who is praying and have the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will not say wow unto it. So the criteria of worship to be called worship, illa liyabudun, is ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, and there is nothing other than that. إِذَا عَرَفُوا abadu. And what will happen after that? وَاسْتَغْنُوا بِعِبَادَتِهِ عَنْ إِبَادَةِ مَا سِوَى. A person, when he has that ma'rifat, and naturally the reaction of this ma'rifat, when the sun will rise, the day will come. It's natural. Once a person have that ma'rifat, abadu, there's nothing but ibadat that person will do. What does ma'rifat will bring about? The ma'rifat will bring about, Ya ayyuhan nas antumul fuqara ila Allah. You know, we are faqir. You know, the same way as number 3 is odd, nothing but odd. Our faqr is our essential reality. Faqr, we have faqr, existential faqr. We have faqr wujudi. It's very natural. That's why it says in a dua Kumayl we recite, you know, silahul buka. What is buka? Buka is nothing but manifestation of our faqr. When a person cries, when a baby cries, because it's showing that faqr, it needs something. As soon as a child is born, if it doesn't cry, it's pronounced dead. If it cries, it's alive. So the birth of a human being, of an insan, is crying, is dua, is buka. And the death of a human being is najwa. So it's from dua to munajat. While he's dying, he's whispering. So all his life is that. So that the essential reality of ours, when we recognize that Allah, that's what ma'rifat is. Knowing that Allah is everything and I'm nothing. إِذَا عَرَفُوا, when I know that, when I have that ma'rifat of Allah, that He's everything and I'm nothing, right? What will I do? I'll do ibadat. Abadu. There will be nothing other than that. And then this ibadat will bring about what? It will make me self-sufficient. An ibadat ma siwa. I will not worship nothing but Him. Because man naturally worships the same way as man naturally wants to know. He either he will worship, you know, that's why it also comes in common terms as well, you know. I'm religiously going to the gym. That word of being religiously going, you know, it's like worshipping. You know, people worship celebrities, for example, when they follow too much, right? So this worship is also in our fitrat, is also in our nature. Either we will worship, you know, the dunya or, you know, things that we go after, right? Or we'll worship Allah. So if there is ma'rifat, is ibadat, and if there is that ibadat, then we will be self-sufficient, will be, you know, ghani, right? Bi ibadati ma siwa. We will not worship no one else but Him. فَقَالَ رَجُلٌ يَبْنَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ مَا مَعْرِفَةُ اللَّهِ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. Oh, you know, son of the Prophet, what is really ma'rifat of Allah? he mentioned it. Now there is a person who is asking more. What is really ma'rifat of Allah? Can you really explain me in detail? Then he says, فَقَالَ مَعْرِفَةُ أَهْلِ كُلِّ زَمَانٍ إِمَامِهِ. The ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually the ma'rifat of the Imam of the time. Safin Nijat, Imam Hussein, and to the Safin Nijat of our 12th Imam. So if we have the ma'rifat of the Imam of the time, a person who dies without knowing the Imam of the time, he died a death of Jahiliyyah. He doesn't know Allah. So that connection is there too, right? So the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually the ma'rifat of that wilayat, is actually the ma'rifat of what imamat is, right? Because we will unable to comprehend and have the understanding of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. The knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will not understand. Subhanallah amma yusifun, as the Quran itself says. Glory, be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which we will not be able to depict, have any understanding. Illa, except, there's always this illa ibadalka mukhlasun. Those who are mukhlas, those who are purified ones, they will be able to teach us, and provide us with the understanding and ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, in this hadith, what is being introduced is that tawheed. And that's what Imam Hussein alayhi salam sacrificed his life for. And tawheed is the Safina Nijat. Now, when we look at, for example, ma'rifat of the Imam, it means that who is an Imam? What is his position? What is his reality? What is his, existential reality of the Imam? Because if we understand his existential reality, then we'll be able to understand and have the ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's linked. It's very important. And peculiarly, when it comes to, us, the school of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, there are certain mystical, esoteric phenomena that is connected to our belief system. And these phenomena, the understanding of these esoteric realities is a must. And as a matter of fact, every religion have mysterious and esoteric side to it, whether that be Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, they do have. And the beauty of Islam is that you find amazing esoteric principles. For example, as it's a Safina Nijat, as we are celebrating the birth of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, on the 3rd of Shaban, there is a dua from the 11th Imam. Now, 11th Imam is the last Imam in the sense that people going to meet, speak and see. Then there is minor occultation and major occultation. So now the 11th Imam is responsible of transferring all that is required or that is in the Safina Nijat to the followers, who's going to be waiting till another Safina Nijat to arrive. And that's why Bahjat, he says that perhaps the most stressful or the most difficult time among all of the Imams, that's his analogy. He says maybe is the 11th Imam. Because he has to make sure that whatever he has gathered, he has to transfer it to the community. It's a big responsibility. Because the 12th one is major occultation. Now the community needs to survive after the 11th Imam, is Shaheed, and while the 12th Imam is in the... So the transformation of whether those be outward fiqhi sort of rulings, teachings, and those inner esoteric haqa'iq realities. And Imam did that. لولاك لما خلقت الأفلاك Rasulullah. لولا فاطمة لما خلقتكما. No, that's a long hadith, right? If it wasn't for Fatima, Ali and Prophet wouldn't have been created. I'm not going to get into that hadith, right? Now, what is pointing out to the reality of who Fatima is, right? وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا Fatima. You know, 6th Imam says Fatima is the night of Qadr. If night is Fatima, the Qadr is Ali. The destiny that descends. That's why he's Qasimun Nar wal Jannah, right? He destines people. That's Ali. That descends on who? On Fatima, which is the night. 11th Imam also just quickly came to my mind, says that the journey to Allah is incomplete without night being the vehicle. Night is Fatima. Without Fatima, the journey to Allah is incomplete. Why? Because she is the reality of all creation to exist. لولا فاطمة لما خلقتكما. نحن حجج الله على خلقه. 11th Imam. Jaddatana, our Jadda, Fatima is our hujjat. Hujjat of what? Hujjat of the Imams, of Imamat. Even Imam Ali included here. So the baqa of Risalat is Fatima, mentioned by the Prophet, and the first Masoom. And you have the 11th Imam. He has to transfer that, right? That esoteric, side of deen. And here as well, the baqa of Imamat is Fatima. Risalat is Fatima, Imamat is Fatima as well. Imam is, transferring that. And it remained with us. The asrar and the secrets of Fatima, who she is. We have that in our hadith literature more than other schools of thought. And perhaps maybe some of the, Sufi masters may have their, such as Ibn Arabi mentions in one of the Risala, that Jibreel would attend to Fatima after the demise of the Prophet, after the shahadat of the Prophet. Jibreel comes to Fatima. Now, that itself is very astonishing, where Imam Khomeini says that I have looked at all of these qualities, but I can't seem to comprehend this, that Jibreel coming to Fatima. Because Jibreel is an archangel. Even he did not come for Ulul Azm Prophet. Fatima is able to see. Ulul Azm Prophet is unable to see. Jibreel is coming. This whole hadith-e-kisa is what? She is watching. Jibreel goes to Allah as this comes. He says, Fatima is seeing all of that. Listening, Jibreel comes and speaks to Rasulullah. Who listens? Who have that capability? That sort of nafs is needed to see. That's Fatima. Imam Hasan Askari, 3rd of Shaban. Right? And very quickly, the Mu'min, alamat of Mu'min are 5. One of them, what did he say? Ziyarat Arba'in, community building. He has to transfer it. Look where it has reached now. At a time where this Imam is in Samira, didn't even do Hajj. Right? Prison. He's talking about Ziyarat Arba'in. Saying, go do Ziyarat Arba'in. There's so much of persecution. Mutawakkil and all that period, he passed. That period has gone as well. He knows. But he's still mentioning and transferring that. It's important because Safin-e-Nijat is Hussein. Hussein is going to give that tawheed, that marifat of that tawheed. And marifat of Allah is the marifat of the Imam. Who's an Imam? On the 3rd of Shaban, there's a dua from 11th Imam. This from Imam Hasan Askari alayhi salam. That, Allahumma, where he says that, for the day of the Mawlud. What Mawlud? The Mawlud, when he was born, the whatsoever in the heaven cried. Whatsoever was on the earth cried. Why? Because his martyrdom was already announced. Not born yet. just born, but his martyrdom is already announced. What concept is this? It's very mysterious. It cannot be, understood or digested by, even our Ahl Sunnah brothers, because they will say, what is this? Right? But this is mystery. And Imam Hassan Askari is mentioning this. And his dua is in Mafati, This points out to the maqam, the station, the position of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, something which is beyond what we may see and comprehend as. Yes, ana basharun mithlukum yuha alay, yeah, bashar. But they are something else. They are the creation of that light. And Allah chose them in that realm. That's why Ziyarat of Fatima Zahra, we tested you and you passed. And when Allah chose them based on certain qualities, that's why the fifth Imam says there's no favoritism between us and Allah. We receive and we have achieved because of our itaat. And there's no favoritism between us and our Shias. They will come close to us because of their itaat. There's no favoritism. In that realm of nur, in that realm of light, Allah chose them and sent them here on this earth. When Allah sent them here on this earth, they were thankful of being chosen. And they tried their utmost, they tried their level best to be thankful. And that sajda of Hussein on the day of Ashura is thanking Allah. That Allah, you chose me. I hope I have done it. Fustu bi Rabbil Kaaba. I hope I have it. Will you go to an expert to teach your child art? Or you will choose anybody? You want your children to be taught by an expert teacher. So you'll go and find an expert. Ahlul Bayt are the expert teachers Allah chose. And Allah wants the children to be taught by them. And these teachers, they do their level best. That's how Allah have chosen them. Right? So they are khilqat nuri. They have that creation of light, which is even before third Imam is, 11th Imam is saying, before he was born, his shahada was already announced. Right? And this is very interesting as it goes on, and it looks at that in the end, an angel was Fatrus punished, and he was cured by the cradle of Hussein. Is Imam Hassan Askari saying, angel punished? Do they commit sin? Angels are pure beings. Do they commit sin? It is the lack of our understanding. Anyway, that's a theological discussion in regards to angels. In Christian theology, yes, Satan is a fallen angel. They call Shaitan as fallen angel, right? And also that's why you have, Los Angeles, Brother Hadi, welcome from America, maybe. Were you in Los Angeles, Brother Hadi? No, inshallah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad for it. Yeah, happy to see you, Sayyid. Alhamdulillah, welcome back. So, angels are lost angels. Satan is a lost angel. So in Christian theology, angels they are possible of committing sins. The story of Suleiman and the angels, once again, that discussion is there. Apparently Sheikh Tusi also, I was more inclined towards believing that the angels can commit sins. Now my take here would be that it's not the question of sin. What is a sin? Yeah, angels are pure being. However, in terms of their calculations, they may fall short. They may lack. 2 angels were sent to do azab. Both of them came. And one said to the other, Baba, this man is in this village, this person is such a pious man, worshipping and praying. Allah wants this person to be killed as well? No, it's not possible, the angel says. The other said, no, Allah said we have to do it. No, it doesn't make sense. Let's go back and ask him. 2 angels, pure being, difference of opinion. So there is a lack of certain understanding in the aql. Because if we say angels are a pure being, which means that angels are nothing but aql, symbolized as angel. Aql are angels. Let's take it that way. Aql, because aql is pure. Aql will never commit a sin. Our aql will never commit a sin. It's pure. It's like if you have a coin, there's heads and tails. The tail side is actually the aql, and the head side is ruh. The watered down version of that ruh itself is nothing but aql. It's one reality. Aql wa ruh, one reality. But there's qalb as well. There's qalb as well, the heart. That's why وَقَانَ قَابِ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى. Jibreel comes, which is Aql Rasul, is an angel. Jibreel comes with the Prophet and he said, I can't go any further. What went further? Not the Aql. Jibreel stopped there. Is the Qalb Rasul went further. Is the heart of the Prophet. Or sometimes the heart is also synonym of nafs. Ya ayyatuhal nafs al-mutmainna. Or qalb salim, for example. Right? So aql are angels, pure, masoom, because aql is masoom. The reason why we commit errors or mistake is because our aql is overpowered by our nafs, by our desires. So we make mistakes. Seventh Imam says, Allah have two hujjat, one in you, one outside. One in you is what? Is aql. And one outside is the Anbiya. Now, if this aql which is inside is weak or weakened, then you have the hujjat outside, which this aql will synchronize it with that hujjat and try to protect. So now Fatrus is not a sin. He cannot fly. Flying is what? Flying is going higher in terms of having ma'rifat of Allah. That's what flying is. Now he cannot fly. Perhaps he is unable to unlock some of the higher realities of Tawheed. And he needs to be given that opportunity that he could fly. Fatrus in dua Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam. As he needs to go higher, what does he do? He approaches Jibreel, which is the Aql Kul. He's the Abul Aql, Abul angels, he's archangel. So as a lower level of Aql approaches the leader, which is Jibreel, and says, where are you going? I'm going to Medina. Why? Because, Hussein born, and I'm going to go give congratulations to the Prophet. All these angels going with you? Yes, everybody coming. Fatrus says, please take me. I need to be cured. So he was brought by Jibreel. Imam Hassan Askari is saying that this Fatrus, this story is in support of that dua. What is the translation of that dua? The Fatrus who was cured by the cradle of Hussein. So Fatrus was brought. It's not the question of sin here. It's a question of unlocking higher reality, which Fatrus wants to. And as he was brought, what did he do? He just wiped his wing to the cradle of Hussein, and he was cured. Right? That is Imam. That is Hussein. That is Safin-e-Najat. Imam Baqir, Imam Sadiq doing tawaf. Imam Sadiq is young. Father also doing tawaf. A person comes to Imam Baqir and asks something. Imam Baqir says, after tawaf, come to Maqam Ibrahim. After that, I will answer your question. Finish the salat behind Maqam Ibrahim. This person approaches again. I think Al-Jawadi in Sharh Ziyarat Jami Kabira brings this as in Ma'adanul, what do you call, وَخُزَّانُ الْعِلْم. They are the treasures of knowledge. The Ahl Bayt. Who are they? They are the treasures of knowledge. This person comes and he asks a question and Imam answers. After this person leaves, Imam Baqir says to Imam Sadiq, who is young, he said, you know who was this? This was Jibreel. He came to ask a question. He came to gain the knowledge. Why not be the case? How far did the Jibreel go? وَقَانَ قَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ وَأَدْنَى. He didn't go any further. Who went further? Rasulullah, awwaluna Muhammad, awsatuna Muhammad, kulluna Muhammad. Why not Jibreel come and ask the Imam about the secrets of Tawheed? Right? So these are Masumin. These are the Imams. Without them, Tawheed is unlocked, cannot be unlocked. وَأَرْكَانَ لِتَوْحِيدِكَ Ziyarat Jamia, they are the rukn of Tawheed. Without rukn, it's void. So, Safine Nijat, is that Safine Nijat? That haqiqat in reality is that Tawheed which Hussein is providing. Bika araftuka wa anta dalaltani alay. Oh Allah, I know you because you showed yourself to me. I don't need qualities or this or sun or moon or whatnot to come to you. You showed yourself. That's a pure Tawheed. Seeing Allah. Right? That's what Imam Hussein transferred. Protected from Rasulullah Hussein min Imam Hussein. That Tawheed which Rasul brought was protected by Imam Hussein. That's why he's Safine Nijat. And then finally, I'm ending, I have taken too much of your time. We have to also look at the bridge. Abul Fazl. Huh? Yes. You go to Imam Hussein? No. You go to Abul Fazl first. And then you go to Imam Hussein. Ana Madinatul Ilm wa Aliyun Babuha. If Safine Nijat is Hussein, the door to Safine Nijat is Abbas. If Hussein is Tawheed, if Hussein is knowledge, if Hussein is Madinatul Ilm, the door to that is Abbas. Baba, ya Kashif al-Karb, an Wajil Hussein, ikshif karbi bihaqqi haqiq al-Hussein. Who are we addressing to? Who is Kashif al-Karb? Allah is Kashif al-Karb. But in this zikr, who are we addressing to? Kashif al-Karb as to Abbas. And Karb of who? Not you and I. Karb of Hussein. We are talking about here. There are different levels of calamity. There's a calamity of me and you. You know, I lost my pen or phone or, you know, my food, my lunch. I will be like, you know, where's my lunch? There's calamity. But that is Hussein's calamity is what? Ya Kashiful Karb an wajhu an wajhil Hussein. Who is that? Is Abbas. So you have an Imam, he is in turmoil, he is looking towards Abbas. He is the Kashiful Karb. Why? We recite in Ziyarat, Muti'u lillah wa li rasulihi. Ita'at. What is ita'at? Qurbun nawafil. You come close to me so much with your ita'at, I become your hand. I become your eyes. That is Abbas. With his ita'at. With his taslim. To who? To the Imam. Who is Imam Hussein? See how these things are all beautifully connected to each other. It's not the question of, oh, then Imam Hussein level is, na'uzubillah, low, Abbas level. No, it's not that. Who taught Dua Kumayl to Ali? It was Khizr. Who brings Quran to Rasulullah? Jibreel. So Jibreel is higher than Rasul? No. Every creation and everything created has its own sort of duty, responsibility and beauty. Ya Kashiful Karb is Abbas. An wajhil Hussein ikshif karbi bihaqqi. Because he is that. That is why Sayyid Ali Qazi says, Tawheed if you want, Imam Hussein. But want to go to Imam Hussein? It's Abbas. He is the door. That is why, one last saying, brother is watching me there, inshallah. Ka'be awliya is Abul Fazl. Sayyid Ali Qazi says, the Kaaba of the awliya. What do we do around Kaaba? We go tawaf, Kaaba. 7 times we do tawaf. After doing 7 times, what do? We fall in sajda. We connect to Allah. The blessing of doing the tawaf is that we have reached to the level of Allah, in the valley of Allah. What is required there after reaching there is nothing but sajda. That's what 2 rakat prayer becomes wajib. Ma'ani ul akhbar, there's asrar, the secrets behind, the amal that we have is that you will reach to a level that after reaching that, you have to do sajda. Because you have reached the level of, nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which naturally, automatically, you should fall in sajda. People who are awliya, they naturally do that. Right? But for us, it's like, okay, it's wajib, this, that, and the other. Right? Ayah Qur'ani, which have ayah wajib, is naturally when a person reads, would see that, and naturally will humiliate, humble oneself by doing sajda. After 7 tawaf, is sajda. Ka'be, awliya, Abul Fazl. So the ma'rifat of Allah is not possible without doing tawaf of Abbas. And Hussein, also the same, What do we do after ziyarat of Imam Hussein? What does he give us? He gave us the honor to do 2 rakat ziyarat prayer. He connects us to Allah. That's the secret. If we go to Hussein, if you go to Abbas, they connect us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are the one. They are the Safina-e-Najat. Inshallah, next week we'll try to look a bit more about, Abul Fazl and the 12th Imam as the Safina-e-Najat. Inshallah. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi at-tahirin.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج واجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه والذابين عنه والمستشهدين بين يديه. اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج في عمره الشريف ومد في عمره الشريف. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم انصر من نصر الدين. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد جميعا. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل يا رب على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.
Ahsant Sheikh for the beautiful lecture. Inshallah, again next week. And